John from Just Whiskey. If you enjoy this content, please hit like and subscribe. And I noticed with this camera that I tend to have a lisp. In real life, I don't think I do, but that's okay if you think I do. What I've decided to do is, in between full-blown whiskey reviews, I'm going to have a show called Supplements. And today's supplement is going to be about palate fatigue. What I noticed about me, and maybe many of you, is we tend to get carried away and we're chasing too many bottles, buying too many bottles, spending more money than we can afford or that's in our budget. And even if we had all the money in the world, our livers couldn't handle it all. So I'm going to talk a little bit about my experience with palate fatigue. My favorite scotch to drink is heavily peated smoke bombs like Leche 10, which is my favorite so far, Lefroy Cast Strength, Lefroy 16-year-old, Octomores. And a while back I was drinking these almost on a nightly basis, and after a while I seemed to start losing the nuances and kind of like a losing proposition in a way. And so I decided to take a little break and cleanse my palate. And one I've always liked to drink tea, and I just got turned on to this new tea. And so a couple of nights I had just tea, and then on the third night I switched to a bourbon, which is just happened to be this High West whiskey, which is like a rye meets Scotch whiskey a little bit, but it's definitely in the bourbon category, and I enjoyed it. And then I think the next night I had a little bit of Irish whiskey, and then I reflected on these 3 bottles. I bought these 3 bottles a while back, about the same amount of time, and I cracked each one of these open while I was still on that Lefroy kick. And I found all 3 at the time to be a little underwhelming. And then after taking my little palate cleanse break with tea, a little bourbon, a little bit of Irish whiskey, I revisited all 3 bottles, and they had gone, they had aerated some, so the levels had gone down a little bit. And I began to appreciate the subtleties in each one of these in a new and good way. And so this first one is the Balvenie 14-year-old Week of Peat, and this one's Story 2. I think that's how they have a little storybook here. So I guess there was a story 1, which I didn't try, and story number 2, and maybe there's a story number 3, I don't know, and so on. But this is this Balvenie is a 2020 release, 48.3% ABV, non-chill filtered. I couldn't find any mention of color, so I'm assuming maybe there is a little, but I don't know for sure. And I found this one to have a nice medicinal, Band-Aid, slightly sweet aroma, and the same on the palate, with a decent finish. In my opinion, a little on maybe the drier side. And then I revisited the Killhoman Machir Bay, and this is a 2019 release, 46% ABV, non-chill filtered, non-colored. And then I newly discovered the sweet aroma of strawberry licorice with a really distinct ashtray, cigarette in the mid to late palate into the finish. But it's still a bit of a light whiskey compared to Laphroaig's or Lechaig 10 or Octomore. And then the Compass Box Peat Monster Arcana, which is the 2020 release, 46%, non-chill filtered, natural color. This one here blew me away in that it is a beautifully sweet strawberry, licorice, bubblegum, candy, desserty, delicious dram. And what I found after my palate cleansing break, one night I poured myself a half ounce to an ounce, just a little bit, and over 45 minutes to an hour, I enjoyed the Balvenie Week of Peat. And then as a nightcap, I went to the Compass Box Peat Monster, and wow, the contrast in those two, it really brought out the strawberry, candy, bubblegum, fruity, and it was just absolutely delicious and interesting. So then the next night, I gave the Balvenie a break, and I went to the Kilchoman Machir Bay, and I did the same thing. Poured myself half ounce to an ounce, enjoyed it over 45 minutes to an hour, and then I poured myself the Compass Box, and again, wow! I mean, the contrast, it really made me appreciate both of these. Now, a lot of viewers want me to pick out a favorite and rate the bottles. So I'll just say that out of these three, and in my mind I compare everything to Lechaig 10, but these aren't Lechaig 10s or Octomores or Laphroaig's or Ardbeg at all. So you have to appreciate them on a more subdued, lighter level. Having said that, out of these three that we're talking about today, I would say the Balvenie is my least favorite out of the three. Then the Killhoman would be my second to least, and the Compass Box Arcana Peat Monster steals the show. But I have to give the caveat that it's so candy, strawberry, fruity. It makes a great nightcap. So even if you had a Ardbeg or Lechaig 10 or Laphroaig or Octomore, any other peat monster, any other peat monster that's not a Compass Box, then you would really see the contrast and really be able to appreciate this as a nice little dessert to end the night with. So if you enjoyed this content, please click like and subscribe, and hats off to you all.